Assalamu alaikum, Dumelang, goeie aand, and welcome to Salam Media. I'm your host, Sarfaraz Takulia. This is Friday night, live with me, Sarfaraz ST. And welcome, good evening to one and all, wherever you are tuning in, streaming in, viewing in, whether you are on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, or you are on the TuneIn app or the airwaves of Salam Media, on the Salam Media website on salammedia.com/listen-live. We welcome one and all. It is the first weekend of October, Alhamdulillah, today being a Jummah, Friday, which has just passed us. Shukr to make to the Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the greatest, for allowing us the opportunity to witness yet another day of Jummah, another Friday. It is the 2nd of October, 2020. And it's just after 7 p.m. Welcome to it. Tonight we've got a jam-packed program. Coming up on tonight's show, we are going to be speaking to our travel guru, Apa Mariam Mia, and we've got some interesting information to share with you regarding travel tips. And yes, many people are traveling. Alhamdulillah, last week I was out in KZN. Shukr to everybody. You know who you are for making it happen. And it was fantastic. And everybody who I met there, what a warm crowd, I must say. It was great being there, interacting with everybody there as well. So tonight we're talking about road trips and travel tips for road trips with kids especially, right? And we're going to have Apa Mariam Mia, who's our travel guru, share with us some valuable information. And we're going to be talking about prepping, packing, and a whole lot more regarding that. And, food and all of those type of things, what you should take. And also how to snack like a champion. So that and more still to come. Around 7:30 or so, Zakir Daud handles the sports segment tonight. Topics of discussion I'm going to share with you is Pitsu Mosimane leaving Sundowns, and DSTV coming in as the PSL sponsors for the new season as well. And it's quite interesting to see how this all materializes and how it all plays out as well. At around 8 p.m., inshallah, we're going to host in studio Fight Club Mayfair. And we're going to be talking all about Muay Thai. And if you are into martial arts and this type of art, or type of fitness regimen and training, this is for you. We're going to be talking about exactly what is Muay Thai and how to go about this. And as you can see, I've got my tracksuit on, I'm kitted out, my white belt and whatnot. So we are looking forward to that. And then at around 8:30 or so, inshallah, we wrap up with the Men Can Cook segment tonight. We feature Lorenzo's Pizza, and I've got Zaire Adam and crew who are going to be coming in, and we're going to enjoy some of their pizza and get to know them a bit more. So that and a whole lot more still to come. Keep it locked. We'll be back after this. All right, welcome back. And it's time now for the next segment, which is obviously the Al Mustafir segment with our very own travel guru, Apa Mariam Mia, tonight. Talking point is obviously some tips for travel when it comes to obviously road trips with kids. And, brave parents who face the prospect of driving for hours or days with a gaggle of kids in the back singing, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" It's not easy, right? So family road trips needn't be stressful. And in fact, with a little preparation and planning, the journey could go and even end up being better than your destination. Now, are you ready to take the wheel? We've got some tips that we want to share with you, and some of them are, packing like a pro. And road trips often reveal that little people, they require a lot of stuff. So, arranging outfits in advance, and with long days on the road, late nights and early mornings, you want to nail your packaging, so that changing everyone into their pajamas and getting ready for the next day is hassle free, right? Um, Packing cubes also, they offer a unique way of keeping clothes in order. And also, we're going to be talking about picking up supplies en route to your accommodation and staying healthy, etc. To talk to us a bit more about all of these, we welcome Apa Mariam. Yeah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening to you, Apa Mariam, and welcome to the program once again. Alhamdulillah, I'm doing well. Shukr, after relatively, I would say, 2 weeks, I was not here, I was not around, but yes, Shukr, I'm back and excited and anticipating, another wonderful program. And great to have you with us as well, as you also bring a wealth of experience to the program. Oh. On that note, I think I had my dose. Alhamdulillah. So yeah, as you can see, we amped up. Alhamdulillah, shukr. Now talking about vitamin C and people traveling and people being on the roads, we now coming on to obviously stage one of the lockdown, and our borders are opening and things like that are happening. People are much more free to travel. Um, it brings us to a very important point. Road trips with children. And as I read in the intro, little people, they obviously take a lot of stuff with them. Now, we've got long days on the road, late nights, early mornings, and how to find a balance way. I understand, obviously, packing is one of the main aspects in this regard. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Now, you mentioned something about sanitizers and masks, and it just made me think and laugh about something that, we in this COVID 19 and the lockdown and this whole pandemic, the way travel has changed. Never in our history have we ever, had to carry masks and things like that. And this is part of our daily routine nowadays, hand sanitizers, masks, etc. We should be also wary of that. Now, I want to talk about another point when it comes to pit stops, right? Um, on the road, maybe people are making some pit stops. What advice can you give, for example, when we are going to be making a pit stop, right? Or, when you're traveling for hours on end, it's important to take a few minutes of rest, etc., uh, on various intervals, right? But when it comes to the pit stops, right? How can we pack the vehicle in such a way that, okay, pit stops are made quite free, hassle free and quick, because obviously when you open the boot of your vehicle, you don't want everything just falling out and having to go dig back deep in the back of the vehicle or trailer, whatever the case is, however much you're packing, however many you are going, whatever car you're traveling with. But what I'm getting at is that maybe you've packed something quite deep in the vehicle. Now you got somebody asking for something that's left there at the back. What do you do now? So how can you balance this? Hmm. Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, now this brings us to the next talking point, right? Another thing I want to highlight is save on washing by packing items which are worn out and almost ready to be tossed. Right? It might sound a bit gross to some people, but there is no problem if clothes get stained or damaged, and they can be thrown away or recycled if ruined. Now, this I want to highlight because sometimes maybe you've packed quite a lot, or you're taking, a lot of how can I say, branded items or newer stuff that you want to maybe to do the beach or to a fishing trip, whatever the case is. What would you like to add on this point about washing on a trip? Because we know it can be quite tedious. I know. So okay. Mm. Yeah. No, obviously not. You don't want to be wasting your time or your trip. I mean, time is definitely money on your trip. Yeah. Mm. All right, so that's quite interesting. Another thing is remembering the basics when traveling, right? Now, also, bear in mind that you should have a number for roadside emergencies too. Considering your route, have your mobile phone adequately charged, etc. And also, taking into consideration, are you going to be traveling through adverse weather conditions or not? These are important aspects. And if so, you can pack maybe a de-icer or antifreeze and blankets for kids. But we're obviously ushering in towards summer right now in South Africa. So, also, do your kids' car seats need boosters or whatever the case is? If you're planning on renting a car for your road trip, confirm with your hiring company that the car seat is available for use, etc. And I think this is an important point because many times these things are like, okay, no, I'm sure they'll have it. Nah, I'll think about it when I get there. And then you get to a destination or get to an airport or a rental service lot, and you find that, what, they don't, or they can't accommodate me. Now, what do you do? Mm. Mm. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I thought I lost you there for a second. Now, food preparation and packing basic food preps, and tools like a knife or a peeler, uh, travel cutlery. These are quite important because it depends if you're going somewhere into the bushveld or somewhere, for example, for fishing, whatever the case is. Having the adequate cutlery for your food and your preparation of your food, I think it's important, irrespective whether it's going to be a self catering or not. But on the road, depending on how many hours you're going to be driving, where you're driving to, this definitely comes into play. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I think that's very important, to have that. And like you say, have a bag that's permanently packed, for example, be it your cosmetics or your whatever the case is, be men folk, women folk, whatever you are, to keep your stuff ready. Another thing is when you are traveling, picking up supplies en route to your accommodation and shopping before you stop. Now, some people might shop and take stuff with them, but also some people shop as they go along. Cutting down on convenience foods by stopping in a grocery store, maybe, or just before reaching your accommodation, perhaps stocking up for that evening, as opposed to maybe stocking up for a whole week. So, how do you now balance this kind of scenario? Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
What can I use? Is a low income, is a gallon, and I tried, and then the profit was what you say. If anybody wants to know, a soap in butter may give you a good round root.
Okay, so yeah, is your roti as round as a Coke bottle or not? Well, okay, that's a separate discussion, and we can have maybe a cook-off. Apa Mariam
Yeah.
in studio with a
So
Coke bottle making. You were just giving me an idea. I think Salalo and I are going to have a chat about that a bit later. But in conclusion, in wrapping up, Apa Mariam, anything else you'd like to add regarding travel tips, especially with children on the road?
yes, just for me to be organized. For me to be organized,
Yeah.
come up with ideas, incentives. Nowadays we get excellent audio books as well. So so change it, mix it up with a few rhythms in there, a little kirat maybe, um, audio book, then have a discussion, conversation, topics. So have a good mix between the age group of the children. Yes, if you got teenagers, everybody will be owned out in their own electronic devices.
Uh-huh.
So that's a different thing. And I think teenagers normally speak that's a part of the way or download something on their devices. But for young children, mix it up. And don't let it be a chore. So keep it ready, especially if you like to travel a lot and you're going out, even for a day out in the day. You're going in the morning, coming back in the evening. Keep everything ready and replenish your cup so you're ready to move. So for me, that's it. Uh, just play and try it with.
Yeah, planning in advance is definitely the key to travel. Apa Mariam, that's where we leave it for tonight's segment, inshallah, in this week's segment, though, on the Al Musafir. And if you are traveling on the weekend, have a safe trip wherever you are going. And inshallah, may you be granted what you find, inshallah, and feel better and energized come Monday, the start of another a new week as well. Apa Mariam Mia, thank you for your time once again. And until we chat again, keep well and keep safe. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's 7:31, and yes, Zakir Daud's in the building. Your sports segment coming up. Interesting talking point tonight. Pitso Mosimane, obviously, has been in the spotlight, obviously, on his imminent move away from Ole, rather Mamelodi Sundowns, as well as DSTV are the PSL sponsor for the new season, and obviously their partnership moving forward, as APSA obviously have canned their partnership with the PSL, a long-standing partnership, I must add. So yeah, that and more is going to be discussed. I'll hand it over now to Zakir Daud, and I'll be back at around 8 p.m. or so. Inshallah, we'll be back after this.